Hi everyone, Brett back out to do scale modeling with another sprue review. This time something not quite military, kind of military, could be military. Fire truck. Used at airports. Used. There you go, oil surveying. Bunch about the truck right there. Airfield Fire Extinguishing Engine. AFEE. ARFF. I guess that means airfield firefighting. AA-60 7310 Model 160.01 ARFF 35th scale trumpeter who's been doing a lot of great things lately. There's some pictures of the built-up model. Sorry for the glare. That's better. There's something about the actual vehicle. Distributed by Stevens International, who's my model distributor for my store. Two different color schemes: red, which I'll be doing; green, which other people will be doing. Decals, photo etch. As you can see, unopened. 1/35th scale, like I said. 431.6 millimeters, width 92, part 720 plus. Kit number 01074. Let's rip the plastic off this thing. Try to do that away from camera because that was some obnoxious plastic. Big old box of sprues. Not taped up. Doesn't want to open. As per normal with things I try to open on camera. Erg. Never use that as problem trophy kits. Must be because it's so rammed full of plastic. Alright. We have a look at a new Euro 4320 CHZ. And the Stuka. There's my truck. There's a USS John F. Kennedy. New variant. And we got body, frame, bunch of parts here, and rubber wheels, photo etch decals, masks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17 sprues, clear parts, instructions. So, shall we start with the upper half of the body, or the hull as some people would call it, or the bed. So this actually looks like the back part of the body, where all the equipment is stored. Nice, crisp, sharply detailed parts. Looks like the cut sprue points off of there. Shall we zoom in? Hit another light. There you go. Some nice equipment doors. If you're more talented than I, you can open those doors, scratch build some equipment inside. And the lower part of the body. I'm going to need a new blade. Nothing under here. I'm sure that's the frame and everything's going to hook on. A little bit of detail here. Very big thing you're going to have to clean up. That attachment point that was removed, but nothing really to see on here. Besides, it's very straight and very sturdy. Here it looks like we have the water tank. And a few little bits. Water tank looking good. Control panels looking good. No flash in any of this. It's a relatively new kit. You know, obviously it's a hybrid of some of their rocket launchers. Their SAM systems and such. Nice detail here. Might be some decals for the dials there. We'll find out. Nice raised detail. Crisp, clean. The ejector pin marks are obviously inside where you can't see them. There's another box. But nice detail on those parts. I don't really see any burring on those round parts. But again, you got some really nice detail there, Normal high quality trumpeter plastic. I'm thinking this is the frame. The ladder, which looks good. A couple of either, I'm guessing those are exhaust pipes. Grill for the radiator, I would take it. Frame parts. Ooh, nice detail on that side. And there are no ejector pin marks on this side, which obviously goes inside, which is nice, except for maybe right here, but that may be an attachment point for something. But yeah. There's rivet holes inside these beams, or rivets inside these beams. And then the side with the detail. Obviously no ejector pin marks. The ladder's crisp with no real burring or flash. There's the exhaust pipes. They're not hollowed out. I'm not sure if there's another end that attaches to that, but you can clean those out simply enough. Nice. And we've got, looks like part of the cab. Another grill section. This almost looks like the part where the hoses will connect to the top. But we'll have to look at the instructions to find out. There are ejector pin marks on the side of this, and there's a couple of big ones standing up where they cut off attachment points you'll need to clean up. But again, no flash, nice detail, good and clean. Crisp and clean, no caffeine. Good all the way around. And here, like I said, this is where the doors are going to go. You got a couple of ejector pin marks there, a couple all around the edges. Not sure if they'll be visible, but you may want to clean them up. This looks like one of the doors, possibly for the air brake line, instrument panel or control panel for something, linkage, ooh, inside of the cab doors, or inside of the cab area, and some good detail inside of here. So if this is one of the doors, you do have several ejector pin marks inside that'll need cleaned up. Detail in here looks really good. No ejector pin marks on this side. Again, no flash, no real burring on the edge of these ladders. There's the ejector pin marks inside that door, right there. But easy cleanup, nothing to fret about, nothing to write home and complain about. Won't be any good anyway. This looks like top of the cab, maybe. Polycaps, don't lose them as I drop them on the floor. So, this is not, according to what I'm looking at, picture, I think this is the back of the fire unit. But this sits behind the tanks, controls the whole system. But the detail, again, crisp, clean, no flash, no burring, no cutoff marks. Just a nice piece of plastic. Molding technology today has gotten really, really good. Well, let's keep going with the big sprues because we got more sides of the cab. More drivetrain parts. Steering wheel stuck in the bag. Still stuck in the bag. So another door, another side for the doors, driveline parts, differentials, transmission, steering wheel. It's kind of warped, but I can't really tell if that's how it's supposed to be because it's molded that way. Oh, handbrake, drive shafts. Looks good all around. There's some texture on this, like non-skid texture on this. Front bumper where the headlights go. Lots of small, tiny parts. Check out what they mean about that steering wheel. May or may not be deformed. Looks a little deformed. Handbrake. Really crisp differential parts. Here's the other side of the cab. Another door. Instrument panel. I'm sure there's going to be decals for that. Drive shafts with... There's a burr line on the drive shaft, so I'll probably be able to see it, but there is. Need a little cleanup, but we've all got those tools we need. Flip side, good detail here. Ejector pins inside of these if you'll see them or not. Ejector pins inside the front bumper, but you really probably won't see that. And this big one has got half a sheet of foam covering up, which generally means delicate parts, which here, of course, we'll take a look at them for all of you wonderful model builders out there. Ooh, look at those fans. Those fans there, that's what they're protecting. Those look like valve covers. I wonder if this has a fully detailed engine, because it almost looks like it. That looks like wiring for the engine. And fans. So this is what was being protected by the foam. You can see there's some flash inside this fan blades, but it's to be expected with, I mean, that's very like scale thinness on those fan blades. Some hosing that was being protected. They did put their research and their work into this. So we're going to set this aside carefully so we can wrap it up. Wrap it back up. This one is completely covered in foam. Carefully cut the tape away. We can tape it back up. Trumpeter put a lot of care in packaging. Some other manufacturers could take note. Another bumper. Lots of very thin parts. Good detail here. Open grill gates. Looks like this is part of a box. So, when this was all wrapped up, because of all those delicate parts right there, right there, right there. I've taken the time to take care of their parts. I shall do the same. The grill tried to run away. Okay, oh look, another bag. Smaller sprues, still wrapped up. Let's see what this one has to offer as I squeeze it together. It sounds like I broke it. Alright, these are matching sprues, and again, both covered. Some hatches there, some handles, door handles or grab handles, valve controls, some more piping, very delicate. Like I said, 2 of these. It's from the backs of the tanks, and the hatch. Open or closed, I'm guessing. So this one I squeezed together. Fortunately, I only knocked that off. Or maybe I didn't, because this one's that way too. So be very careful when unwrapping these, or you'll do what I did. Sounded like I broke them. And these are also matching sprues for the tires, wheels. We need one. It looks like, sorry, on here we got like tiny bolt heads or something, and some more handles, parts of the springs. Not sure what these are for, of course, but there are a lot of little parts on here too. And then you've got these very detailed parts, inner parts to the wheels. I'm talking about is right here, and then this whole part right here looks like bolt heads that you can shave off and use. And then there's some hook looking tiny little things right there. Surprised these aren't wrapped in foam. Anyway, 2 of those. Actually, 4 of those. There's 2 more, which makes sense because of all the wheels on it. Here are the rest of the doors. And again on here, there's 2 sprues, matching sprues in here. Let me get one out. it together and I don't want to break things. So, seats, the doors, again another one of these, looks like bolt heads that they've just attached to the sprue edge. Again, some tiny hooks, tiny little parts. More jump seats. Detail on the side of the doors, looks like this one goes over this one. So, the sprue attachment points, actually there are none on any sides of these. Windshield wipers, but again, how tiny and delicate those parts are. There's a part there. There's a part there. Look at that. There's your doors. Steering tie rod. There's your windshield wiper. Look how delicate that looks. You have to be careful just cutting these things off the sprues. Your doors which go together. Again, no ejector pin marks. Your jump seats. And then there's those tiny parts again. Trumpeter has been doing some great molding work and been releasing new kits at a pretty good clip too. Alright, 3 more small sprues. Not sure what it is. Looks like a tank or the sides of something. But again, good detail. Good smooth plastic. And another bumper. I guess because there are multiple versions of this, you would have multiple bumpers. And since these are separate small sprues, these are probably actually the sprue bumpers that go with the kit. Sorry, almost forgot the close-up. This one is made of that flexible plastic or flexible rubber type thing, like netting, backs of seats, bottoms of seats. That's flexible vinyl with very good detail. Pattern cut into it. Nice touch. Tires, which I know you gentlemen and ladies are dying to see. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. No spare tire. There is wording on there. Tire size, tire pressure. There's no manufacturer logo. There is a bit of a seam line, but you're going to sand them down anyway. They're hollow. The tread pattern is wonderful. There's the wording and the stress points on the tires. Good looking tires. Some people don't like rubber tires. I don't mind them. I've never had a problem with them. They're harder to put weight on, of course. And 2 sheets of photo etch. This side with some grills and some other stuff. This side with some small grills. Decals, which is all your instrument panels and your numbers. And then a mask set, which is... can't tell if it's die cut or not. It is die cut, so it feels textured. I wonder if you can see what that's for, because it feels textured. And since I opened it, instrument panel decals, control box decals, plates, and numbers. Your basic trumpeter decals. Nothing wrong with them. And your clear parts, and because they're flat, I'm not going to take them out of the bag because they're 35th scale. They're perfectly clear. Look good. Great lights, windows, windshield, doors. Good, clear, ready to go. Alright, first, your painting and marking options. You have red, obviously. Mr. Hobby, Accretion, Vallejo, Model Master, Tamiya, Humbrol. Paint callouts. Only Mr. Hobby has every paint color. Like I said, red, green. That's it. I'd like to go with the red just because it'll stand out amongst all the others I've built. And lastly, our instruction manual. There you go. There's all your warnings. You know, not recommended for children under 14. Sprue maps. Sprue maps. And you start with the frame, of course. You're going to put all those little parts on that we talked about. All the driveline parts. There's a little hook right there. See, it even expands it because it's so little. And then more driveline parts. And putting the two halves of the frame together. And then more parts on the outside of it. And more parts on the other outside of it. Suspension parts, obviously. And there's your engine going together. Yay. I like me a good engine. Y'all know that. And there's your skid plates going on. And your engine, and your transmission, and your drive shafts. Now, of course, I'll have the engine painted separately. I'll have the frame painted separately. Then I'll put them together. And there's your axles and your wheel hubs. Install first, no cement, notice. Make sure you see the notice. No cement, no cement, no cement. There's lots of no cement on all of these. Pay attention. There is your steering rod going on. Shocks on both sides, both sides, both sides. There's all your shocks. Exhaust pipes. And more parts going around the engine. Your fuel tanks. Frames for the fuel tanks. This says for scale, so pay attention to that. It's the angle you're supposed to have it at. Hubs going in the tires. Tires going on. I would paint the hubs first because that's me. I don't know if I'd put the tires on yet. I'm thinking these are air intakes. There's bumpers. More pipes. I'm not sure if they're air intakes or not. Light covers. Guards. Ladder or stretcher? Don't know. More parts to the engine, the dual fan system right here. There's your dual fan system. Then you finally, in step 15, get to work on the cab. So 14 steps before you get to the cab. And in the cab, lots of little details. There's where your die cut masks are going. Die cut masks. Die cut masks. Looks like they're going over the windows. So you can paint. So your die cut masks going all around. For your cab, pay attention, more die cut masks. More blown up things showing you the small bolts we talked about. The round eyelet hooks we talked about. The other part of the cab. There's a lot of detail going on. There's more tiny little parts that they blew up the diagram of so you can see what they are. Good on their part for the instructions. Now there's the two cab halves. There's the back, like we talked about right here. That one part of the behind the tanks. There are more of these tiny little parts. They're shown blown up. And there's another engine. I'm guessing that's to drive the pump for the water tank, I'm guessing. The valves all going in. There's the bottom going into the top back of the truck, where all your storages I talked about if you want to do, because they leave it open. This is open behind those doors, this is open behind those doors, this is open behind that door. So you wouldn't have to add styrene behind it, you just open the doors and figure out what goes in it. There are doors for the back part where the engine pump is running. Steps, that's what the PE is for, those steps. Your tank going together, handles going all over the place, another blown up part for those tiny handles. There's your tank, more handles going on. There's your tank finally coming all completely together. Tank going on the body. By now you've had the body. In my world, I would have painted all the frame, painted the wheels, painted all the cab parts, painted the tank, painted all the other parts that are going to go on the tank. And there's the water cannon. It goes in the middle, right here. Painted it all, get it all together, then weather it. That's my painting world. What's yours? Tell me in the comments below. So there you have it. This long review of, Trumpeter's new AA-60 aircraft field extinguishing engine, model 160.01. Nice looking detail. Nice bunch of detail. Cheap? Heck no. It's going to cost you about $100 US at least. Don't know what that is in the rest of the world. But beautiful. Highly recommended. Do not get any figures, which is a shame, but someone will probably release some figures. Paint the doors white. Paint this part white. Like I said, open up these doors because the space behind it, you could detail it for all you great scratch builders. Thanks for watching.